وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون.
وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Quran Circle 2. I'm Arkham Rashid, your host. In this episode, we will be reciting selections from Surah Ash-Shura and Surah Az-Zukhruf. And the theme that we chose is the conductor of the affairs in the universe. So let's start off as usual by introducing and welcoming our guest for today. On my right hand side, I have Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, we know what Shura is. What is Zukhruf, if you can tell us that?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah wa ba'd. Az-Zukhruf means something that is adoring or adornment. And this is something mentioned in the Quran about this life that we live in. That this life has adornment to it, it has a beauty to it, but it's only a temporary one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to seek the rewards in the hereafter, not to be deceived by the adornment and the beauty of this life.
Okay, Sheikh, thank you for that. Dear viewers, we have brought two very good reciters for you today. I'm going to introduce them to you first and then we'll get straight to our recitations, inshaAllah. On my right hand side, I have Qari Ahmad Rajab. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Next to him, we have Qari Ayman Abdul Mun'im. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brother.
So starting us off today is Qari Ahmad. He will be reciting from verse number 29 of Surah Ash-Shura. So go ahead, follow along and enjoy.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض وما بث فيهما من دابة وهو على جمعهم إذا يشاء قدير وما أصابكم من مصيبة فبما كسبت أيديكم ويعفو عن كثير وما أنتم بمعجزين في الأرض وما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير ومن آياته الجوار في البحر كالأعلام إن يشأ يسكن الريح فيظللن رواكد على ظهره إن في ذلك لآيات لكل صبار شكور أو يوبقهن بما كسبوا ويعفو عن كثير ويعلم الذين يجادلون في آياتنا ما لهم من محيص فما أوتيتم من شيء فمتاع الحياة الدنيا وما عند الله خير وأبقى للذين آمنوا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون والذين يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش وإذا ما غضبوا هم يغفرون والذين استجابوا لربهم وأقاموا الصلاة وأمرهم شورى بينهم ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين إذا أصابهم البغي ينتصرون وجزاء سيئة سيئة مثلها فمن عفا وأصلح فأجره على الله إنه لا يحب الظالمين ولمن انتصر بعد ظلمه فأولئك ما عليهم من سبيل إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم ولمن صبر وغفر إن ذلك لمن عزم الأمور ومن يضلل الله فما له من ولي من بعده وترى الظالمين لما رأوا العذاب يقولون هل إلى مرد من سبيل وتراهم يعرضون عليها خاشعين من الذل ينظرون من طرف خفي وقال الذين آمنوا إن الخاسرين الذين خسروا أنفسهم وأهليهم يوم القيامة وقال الذين آمنوا إن الخاسرين الذين خسروا أنفسهم وأهليهم يوم القيامة ألا إن الظالمين في عذاب مقيم وما كان لهم من أولياء ينصرونهم من دون الله ومن يضلل الله فما له من سبيل استجيبوا لربكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا مرد له من الله ما لكم من ملجأ يومئذ وما لكم من نكير فإن أعرضوا فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا إن عليك إلا البلاغ وإنا إذا أذقنا الإنسان منا رحمة فرح بها وإن تصبهم سيئة بما قدمت أيديهم فإن الإنسان كفور فإن أعرضوا فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا إن عليك إلا البلاغ وإنا إذا أذقنا الإنسان منا رحمة فرح بها وإن تصبهم سيئة بما قدمت أيديهم فإن الإنسان كفور لله ملك السماوات والأرض يخلق ما يشاء يهب لمن يشاء إناثا ويهب لمن يشاء الذكور أو يزوجهم ذكرانا وإناثا ويجعل من يشاء عقيما إنه عليم قدير.
Jazakum Allah khair. Thank you very much, Qari Ahmed, for that beautiful recitation. Thank you. Sheikh, if we can start with the first verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about some of His signs. And He's speaking about, in the beginning, He's speaking about these different creations of His. Can you just give us a brief tafsir of that?
The surah actually is about the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to prove that this Quran is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and refuting the ways of the disbelievers when they attack the book of Allah and the truth that was sent to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So reminding humanity that from the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He created the heavens and the earth, and any walking creature on the face of earth, this is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's the one that is able to bring them all back in the Day of Judgment, because He's the one that created them. So He's the one that would resurrect them and would bring them back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's able to do whatever He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that brings so much tranquility in the hearts of the believers, and that's why the ayah right after that, whatever calamity afflicts you, then you need to understand that this is from what your hands earned. It's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but He's the most just to expiate the sins as a punishment for the disbelievers. And He pardons so much, so many sins Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pardons, and He does not punish the human beings immediately. He gives them the time to repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He's the creator of all things and He's the most forbearing subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, and there's one part where He says, وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَمَا لَكُمْ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِن وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about the human beings, and He's saying that they're not capable on this earth. And after that He says, وَمِنْ آيَةِ الْجَوَارِ فِي الْبَحْرِ كَالْأَعْلَامِ. And He speaks about how He can gather everybody. So, I mean, we don't even know all the species that exist. And how is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to bring everything together at one time?
As it's mentioned there, على جمعهم إذا يشاء قدير. He subhanahu wa ta'ala, since He's the one that initiated them from nothing. They were nothing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them to exist. So resurrecting them, that's something that is, of course, so easy for the creator of the heavens and earth. And when it mentioned that the human beings are not able to do anything, they cannot do things against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they have no supporters, no helper whatsoever can make them do whatever they want. It's all by the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And although it's mentioned right after that, from the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these ships that you manufacture, so the human beings, they have capabilities to do amazing things, but they're still under the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sovereignty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if He will subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can make the wind stand still. So these ships would never sail, or He would destroy them and make them to drown and storms to come, and they can just flip like a toy. And the same thing with airplanes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the human beings the ability to build these amazing things like airplanes and so on. But then who's the one that is controlling the affairs of the human beings and the air and the environment and the atmosphere? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, He can destroy all of this. So they would still fly by the power of Allah, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that the human beings should not be arrogant. And there's a very interesting word here mentioned, that أَوْ بِمَا كَسَبُوا, that these ships can be destroyed because of what they earned. So the calamities is because what the people earn. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He will, when people, for example, in ships and they're committing sins and drinking, and the same thing in airplanes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He really can destroy that, and they deserve when they are disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But He subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the time and pardons and give them the time and the provisions so that they would not have any excuse whatsoever when it comes to when they return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Day of Judgment.
And one of the verses that stuck out to me was verse number 38, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ, and then وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. So this attribute about whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them, they spend with it. And then before that, like we said, was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ. Why is it that we constantly see salah being mentioned with charity, or with giving money, or with spending the money Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us? I mean, many times in the Quran it says وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءِ الزَّكَاةِ. So it's another act of charity is being, side by side with salah. What's the connection between salah and zakah?
This is basically to fulfill the perfect human beings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. Someone that would fulfill the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is to establish the salah. This is between the slave and his creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is not enough unless a person is also conducting his affairs and his relationship with others, human beings in the face of earth, in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from him. And that is comes the zakah, and being compassionate towards one another, and giving charity. And the religion of Islam is such a comprehensive way of life that covers everything. And that's why in these verses Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the different characteristics of the believers and how they respond to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They establish the salah, and their affairs is shura. They consult with one another. They don't take their opinion and they think that this is the right and absolute correctness in it, but they would take opinions of others in matters that it's not religion. Because if the religion says that we need to pray dhuhr at a certain time, the matter is already finished. And they would spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for them, to remind the human beings that when you're spending, you're not spending from your own wealth in its original form. It's in reality, it's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for you. So it makes it easy for us to spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, and the different levels of how to deal, which is beautifully mentioned in the next few verses, about how the person should deal with people, those who transgress against him. What's the levels? In the nations before, it was either one extreme or the other. In the deen of Islam, you are given the choices according to the level of goodness you have, but the minimum requirement that everybody should abide with, which is the justice. Nothing can come before that. It's justice and above.
Okay, we'll speak about these following verses, but we'll get one of the reciters to recite it for us, inshallah. Qari Ayman, if you can recite for us from, should we do from وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ?
39 even would be more comprehensive.
Okay. From وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَ, inshallah, if you can recite a few verses for us, that would be great. Okay.
والذين إذا أصابهم البغي هم ينتصرون وجزاء سيئة سيئة مثلها فمن عفا وأصلح فأجره على الله إنه لا يحب الظالمين ولمن انتصر بعد ظلمه فأولئك ما عليهم من سبيل إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم ولمن صبر وغفر إن ذلك لمن عزم الأمور.
جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much, Qari Ayman. Sheikh, go ahead, you can give us the tafsir for that.
These verses is a way of life, really, because we live in a life where you can't protect yourself all the time. Some people, they would have to act ignorantly towards a person. So how to deal with these ignorant attacks, whether it's verbally or physically? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises the believers, or mentions some of their characteristics, that whenever baghi or transgression in a wrongdoing manner, whenever they are attacked, they have the right to be victorious. The believers are not humiliated when it comes to dealing with others. They should have honor and dignity, and they should not accept to be humiliated by others. They only forgive if there's a benefit in forgiving. But if forgiving will cause them to be humiliated on the face of earth, then this is not a good thing. This is not a good quality in the person, if they, of course, have the means to have the honor and the dignity. وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٌ مِثْلُهَا. But the minimum that a person can have is, if someone acts towards a person with a bad deed, then he can retaliate in the proper channels, of course, with the people of authority, but it has to be exactly the same, not more. And this is a very delicate situation, because many people, if they have the power, they would retaliate far more than what the harm that happened to them, and that's injustice. That's why one of the early generations of Islam, when he was asked about this, he said that al-af, or to pardon, is much more spacious. If you're not able to get your right exactly without increasing anything which becomes injustice, then don't do it. You have only the right to take your right, to get your right only, and not beyond that. And many people, they don't do that in the proper way, especially if they have power, if they have money, and so on. Someone say a bad word to a person, so he will punch him in the face, for example. That's not justice. But it has to be exactly in the same manner. It doesn't mean that, of course, a believer would verbally abuse others. This is not permissible. But he has only the right to take his right only. Otherwise, فَمَنْ عَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ. Whoever pardon, and as a result of that, it brings goodness. And that's the condition of it. Then his reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love the wrongdoers, the transgressors. And then again, whoever seek victory and to be victorious after he's been humiliated with injustice, there's no harm on them. This is permissible for the person to do that in the proper way. What is really the evil thing is for those who transgress upon others and they spread corruption and injustice on the face of earth. And then the last verse in this context, whoever has patience and forgive, definitely this is from the best of the matters. This needs patience, especially if a person is able to retaliate, he's able to conduct based on his anger and so on, but rather he would be patient and forgive for the better goodness of it. Then definitely this is the most difficult one, and that's why it's the highest level and it's the most rewardable act.
So forgiveness is number one, and then if you want to retaliate, it has to be exactly what the person did to you, nothing more.
Nothing more, and according to the proper ways, by the people of authority, of course, so that becomes no chaos in the lives of people.
Okay, thank you for that, Sheikh. Dear viewers, we're going to go for a short break. As soon as we come back, we will finish with the recitation of Surah Ash-Shura, and we will recite some of the verses from Surah Zukhruf, so stay tuned.
وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ.
Welcome back to Quran Circle 2. Now, before we went for that short break, we were speaking about the conductor of all the affairs in the universe, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, we will start off by finishing the recitation of Surah Ash-Shura, and then we will recite some of the verses of Surah Zukhruf, or Surah Zukhruf. So go ahead, open your Mus'haf to Surah Shura, verse number 51. That's where we left off, and we will enjoy this recitation by Qari Ayman Abdul Mun'im. So follow along.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما كان لبشر أن يكلمه الله إلا وحيا أو من وراء حجاب أو يرسل رسولا فيوحي بإذنه ما يشاء إنه علي حكيم وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم صراط الله الذي له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ألا إلى الله تصير الأمور بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حميم والكتاب المبين إنا جعلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون وإنه في أم الكتاب لدينا لعلي حكيم أفنضرب عنكم الذكر صفحا أن كنتم قوما مسرفين وكم أرسلنا من نبي في الأولين وما يأتيهم من نبي إلا كانوا به يستهزئون فأهلكنا أشد منهم بطشا ومضى مثل الأولين ولئن سألتهم من خلق السماوات والأرض ليقولن خلقهن العزيز العليم الذي جعل لكم الأرض مهدا وجعل لكم فيها سبلا لعلكم تهتدون والذي نزل من السماء ماء بقدر فأنشرنا به بلدة ميتا كذلك تخرجون والذي خلق الأزواج كلها وجعل لكم من الفلك والأنعام ما تركبون لتستووا على ظهوره ثم تذكروا نعمة ربكم إذا استويتم عليه وتقولوا سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون وجعلوا له من عباده جزءا إن الإنسان لكفور مبين أم اتخذ مما يخلق بنات وأصفاكم بالبنين وإذا بشر أحدهم بما ضرب للرحمن مثلا ظل وجهه مسودا وهو كظيم أومن ينشأ في الحلية وهو في الخصام غير مبين وجعلوا الملائكة الذين هم عباد الرحمن إناثا أشهدوا خلقهم ستكتب شهادتهم ويسألون وقالوا لو شاء الرحمن ما عبدناهم ما لهم بذلك من علم إن هم إلا يخرصون أم آتيناهم كتابا من قبله فهم به مستمسكون بل قالوا إنا وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم مهتدون بل قالوا إنا وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم مهتدون وكذلك ما أرسلنا من قبلك في قرية من نذير إلا قال مترفوها إنا وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم مقتدون قال أولو جئتكم بأهدى مما وجدتم عليه آباءكم قالوا إنا بما أرسلتم به كافرون فانتقمنا منهم فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين.
جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much, Qari Ayman.
Thank you.
Sheikh, if we can start with the remaining verses of of Shura. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَن يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا أَوْ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ أَوْ يُرْسِلَ رَسُولًا. What are these means of speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the wahy, the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not for anybody to claim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing for them something. Otherwise, you see this becomes a chaos when it comes to matters of belief. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to human beings, special human beings. These are the prophets, these are the messengers of Allah. And also this is done in a specific manner, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would speak to them through wahy, through revelation, inspiration, or behind a veil, or behind, not like nobody whatsoever on the face of earth is allowed to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, only in the hereafter. Or he would send a messenger, like Jibreel alayhi salam. He's the one that is responsible for the wahy and conveying the message to the messengers of Allah, and then the messengers of Allah that convey that to the people. So the matter is done in such a way so that nobody would ever claim a lie that they speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or they see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life. This is something that would never happen. It's only in the day of judgment.
Okay. And then the following verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا. Is that speaking about Jibreel?
No, this is refers to the Quran. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inspired the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the wahy, which is the Quran, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. and you did not know what the book or what the iman, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it light. He guides whoever He wills from His slaves by the light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then stating the fact that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him a guide to the straight path.
Okay, and then Surah Al-Zukhruf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins it with Hamim wal Kitab al-Mubin, by praising this book. And then He says, Inna ja'alnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. And this is not the first time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or this is not the only time that it's mentioned that this Qur'an is an Arabic Qur'an, so that you may think, so that you may use your brain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. If you can explain that to us, inshallah.
Now, as you said, many places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it clear that this Quran is in the Arabic language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose this language, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most wise. He chose it because it's a very powerful one, and you see here how لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you would have the proper reason. That means, and again this is not to belittle any other language, but really as Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he said that learning the Arabic language makes a person think properly or better, makes him have more reason if a person would learn the Arabic language. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran in the Arabic language. You get the proper evidences and the proper hujjah, and the proper reason is being established in this powerful and rich language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for the final book, the Quran, to be revealed in.
Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about, we sent messengers. And then there's one important thing here. It says, وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ خَلَقَهُنَّ الْعَزِيزُ الْعَلِيمُ. That they will admit that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that created this earth and created everything. الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ مَهْدًا وَجَعَلَ لَكُمْ فِيهَا سُبُلًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. And then He speaks about the different things that He has given us. وَالَّذِي خَلَقَ الْأَزْوَاجِ. If you can explain these one by one, inshallah.
This is again the way of the Quran in establishing the evidence for people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And as you see, it's repeated all over the Quran, for people not to have any excuse whatsoever. That the disbelievers themselves, if they're asked who's the creator of the heavens and the earth, they would say Allah, the Almighty, the All-Knower subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one, and then brings some of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one that made the earth for you a place where you can walk and sleep and conduct your affairs. And He made paths for you so that you would receive guidance, send the messengers, reveal the books. He's the one that brought from the skies the water, which is the rain, with special measurement. And the measure that comes down, this is all measured by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give life to what is dead. كَذَلِكَ تُخْرَجُونَ. That's the reason, that's the wisdom behind having rain to sustain our life, and this is how you will be resurrected in the Day of Judgment. And He's the one that created al-azwaj, or the different pairs, and He's the one that made from the fulk, from the ship and the cattle, what you would ride, and for you to, this is such an amazing thing that the animals that people ride, they don't think of the wisdom behind having this creation in such a way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that created them for them to be in such a way, and He's the one that ordered us to even make dhikr. That's why from the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to say a specific dhikr whenever you would ride something, whether it's an animal or a car. And by applying the ayah that is mentioned in Surah Al-Zukhruf, and people should refer to the books of adhkar and so on to see what to say when we even ride the car. And one of the things we say is Subhanalladhi sakhkhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin. Glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one that made this in such a way for easy for us to use. And it's not something that we will be able to do it on our own. It's all by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we all shall return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After mentioning this, you see the purpose why all of these verses is mentioned. وَجَعَلُوا لَهُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ جُزْءًا. That after all of this, and they admit themselves, they would make from some of the slaves of Allah apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like the angels, they would say that they are the daughters of Allah. Or Isa alayhi salam, he's the son of Allah. How can a person say that after admitting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of the heavens and the earth? And this shows how evil is the associating partners with Allah. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَكَفُورٌ مُبِينٌ. The human being is kafur, ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and clear ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Let's read some of these verses that in which he speaks about they're saying that the angels are the daughters of Allah. Sheikh Ahmad Rajab, if you can recite for us from verse 16, أَمِ اتَّخَذَ مِمَّا يَخْلُقُ بَنَاتٍ وَأَصْفَاكُمْ till the end, inshallah.
أم اتخذ مما يخلق بنات وأصفاكم بالبنين وإذا بشر أحدهم بما ضرب للرحمن مثلا ظل وجهه مسودا وهو كظيم أومن ينشأ في الحلية وهو في الخصام غير مبين وجعلوا الملائكة الذين هم عباد الرحمن إناثا أشهدوا خلقهم ستكتب شهادتهم ويسألون وقالوا لو شاء الرحمن ما عبدناهم ما لهم بذلك من علم إن هم إلا يخرصون أم آتيناهم كتابا من قبله فهم به مستمسكون بل قالوا إنا وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم مهتدون وكذلك ما أرسلنا من قبلك في قرية من نذير إلا قال مترفوها إنا وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم مقتدون قال أولو جئتكم بأهدى مما وجدتم عليه آباءكم قالوا إنا بما أرسلتم به كافرون فانتقمنا منهم فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين.
جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much, Qari Ahmed. Sheikh, now the verses obviously, like you mentioned before, speak about people saying that the angels are the daughters of God. If you can give us the tafsir for this.
This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so showing how unjust are the human beings after admitting the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He's the creator, the one that conducts the affairs of the human beings, and still they would claim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a son or has a daughter, and how ungrateful the human beings are. They're not grateful to the creator, but rather they would give some divine nature to one of his creations or so. And that's what it mentioned in the verses here. The people of Jahiliyyah at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they would justify for themselves to kill their daughters when they're born, and they would say these are the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the angels, right? To justify that they don't like females because females depend on them, and they thought that bring kind of shame on them. And this is, by the way, this is not just unique to the Arabs. This is the way it was before the Prophet ﷺ was sent. Yes. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ in Europe, they were discussing the Christian priests and so on, whether the female, she has a soul or not, right? And they decided that she has a soul, but of a lesser level than the soul of the men. This is what happened when people distort the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never revealed such a thing to Isa alayhi salam. Jesus the son of Mary, or that's the true message of Isa alayhi salam, is the message of the truth. And the same thing in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the matter so clear. And how can they do this? And they would claim that these are the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they want to get rid of them. And they made the angels, they are slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make them females. Did they witness their creation? Where did they come up with this? And again, the subject of inventing in the religion. Where do people come up with these beliefs, which is unseen to them? Did they witness how they were created? So we have to respect and have the manners and matters of belief, that we only get our belief from revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from invented ways of people just lying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or there were books before, that they get this from the books, revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that does not exist. And the same thing with all matters of beliefs that people invent, which is against the truth. Do you have a book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to you that has this in it? Or you're inventing lies? And it's nothing but inventing lies. And that's the beauty of the Tawheed. The matter is so clear, and the evidences are so established, and people need to bring evidence of what they say and what they claim.
All right, Sheikh, that brings us to the end of this episode. So I want to thank you once again for coming here and sharing your tafsir with us on Quran Circle 2. And I want to thank you, Qari Ahmed and Qari Ayman, for your wonderful recitations. We always love having you on Quran Circle, and we look forward to seeing you again, inshallah. Dear viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed and benefited from today's recitations and tafsir. We hope to see you next time on Quran Circle 2, and until then, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وما أرسلناك إلا مبشرا